I'd like to direct this question to the two prime ministers on China. Japan's national security strategy positioned China as the greatest strategic challenge. And in Canada, you have announced a strategy where you will try to restore order, international order. And the Xi Jinping government, for unifying with Taiwan, said that it would not stop at using weapons. And so would you please indicate your recognition of the present status? And what kind of exchanges took place with regard to China, please?
Thank you for your question. Over the past year, we've seen how important the G7 is in coordinating a strong response to defend the international rules-based order, either through direct security engagements, as we're sending, for example, supplies and armaments to Ukraine to resist against the illegal invasion by Russia, or to better coordinate on how we stand up for the international rules-based order diplomatically, in terms of following economic principles, and really bringing forward a level of coordination. With Fumio-san's hosting of the G7 in Japan, the focus will rightly be on the Indo-Pacific in this new world with a rise of increasingly contesting authoritarian powers, whether it be Russia on the one hand, or China, which Canada has recently recognized in our Indo-Pacific strategy as an increasingly disruptive global power. I think the focus that we had in our extensive conversations, and indeed the conversations we've been having over the past year and more amongst G7 partners, has been on recognizing there are areas where we are going to have to cooperate and work together with China. A great example of that is the Nature COP, the COP15 that Canada just hosted in Montreal. We co-hosted it with China, and between China and Canada working together, we were able to get an extremely ambitious agreement signed by almost all the countries in the world to protect 30% of our land and 30% of our waters by 2030. So there are areas which we need to work with China. But there are other areas in which we're going to have to compete with China, and other areas in which we're going to have to directly contest China, whether it's on human rights, whether it's on respect for international rules and the rules-based order. And that approach, which is thoughtful, aligned, coordinated, and responsible, focused on creating opportunities for people in our countries and around the world, is going to continue in our approach on China.